the circle of 12 as a concept. And my representation of this is the 12 signs of Jacob and the 12 sons of the Zodiac. And my rationale for presenting it in this manner is to divert from the basics of the 12 sons of Jacob as 12 human beings only. Because what we're doing is we're reaching into the scriptures to reveal the system of the scriptures and the relevancy of human nature in terms of spiritual knowledge universal. The thing that's universal about the Bible is not Christianity, just as the thing that's relevant about the Quran is not Islam. The thing that is relevant about Hinduism is not the religion. It is the Bhagavad Gita, which is based on 12. Okay, now I've already done one reference point of showing the names of the gods of these three major scriptures. 108 names in the Bhagavad Gita, 72 names for the Old Testament names of God, and the 99 names of the gods in the Quran, all equal a 9. And the 9 is the sum total of the circle of 360 degrees. So we have this standard in all of the scriptures that makes direct reference again to zodiac and zodiac knowledge. Zodiac knowledge and astrology are not the same. Zodiac knowledge tells you about human nature commonality. In other words, everyone has this blueprint of arm, leg, arm, head, 12 major parts of their nature, 12 major glands in their bodies in reference to this system presented of 12 disciples, of 12 sons of Jacob, of 12 stones of the earlier Hebrews, and the 12 jewel or precious stones of the ephod of not Jacob, of Joshua, to show again this significance and standard of circle. This book, the Holy Bible, has 66 books in it. That's 6 and 6 again is 12. So the emphasis again is this consistency of 12 throughout the entire manuscript of the Bible, in symbolizing the authors who designed this concept of Holy Writ used 12 persona, 12 personalities representing 12 types of human beings based on the birth factor of the circle of 360 degrees, where every living thing is born and able to be measured in this circle, as to whether it's an ant or a dinosaur. His or its time of birth could be found if one has a time clock system for determining that point of birth. And since we're already constructed under the 12 months of the year, we have these 12 segments of a circle prepared for measuring the entrance of all life form. That is, that's animated on an intelligent level. You could even measure the birth time of a plant. I mean, it has a birth time as well. But the major fact, of course, is for human beings rather than for lesser life form. But I mean, even some dog owners have the time their dogs were born, you know, so they give them their birth sign. And the other phenomena here is that there are millions of Africans in Africa who have no concept of what day, what hour, or what month they were born. I'm talking not 500 years ago, I'm talking yesterday and today. There are Africans being born who have no idea what month, day, or year they were born. There are millions of them that don't even know how old they are. They have no concept of their age because no one kept the records. It wasn't relevant to the needs of the time in terms of food, of clothing, of shelter. So that particular, I met a African woman downtown Atlanta about a year ago, and I was going to do her pinnacles to give her some lottery numbers, and she didn't know when she was born. She had no idea. So something is left out in terms of this capacity not only to know self, but to know that the creator of the universe knows when you come into life and that you're here. That is a part of the resecuring that someone cares about you on this planet. One of the delightful things you get from the Kybalion in reading it is this feeling of well-being when you understand that infinity knows that you're here. You don't have to belong to a religion. You don't have to bow down to any god. The universe knows you're here and has provided something for you because you're here. In other words, you deserve to be successful because you're here, if for no other reason. And people need to know that there's provisions for every soul down here. But because of the disorder of system, for many, for millions, it is denied them. So we're going to take a look at chapter 49 in the book of Genesis, the book of beginnings, concerning these 12 sons. And we started this last Sunday before last, but I found myself doing two things. One, making an assumption that this was going to make sense. There was another young lady here who afterwards asked me about having a chart done. But what I said, then I asked her if she's going to be here next Sunday. And she said, well, maybe, That this is not common knowledge, that I wasn't talking to someone who could relate directly to this knowledge and override whatever theology and doctrine she already believed. Because it does appear to contradict what one believes. But what it contradicts is the ignorance about self and the nature of self and the nature of God is what it contradicts. And it takes a while for that to penetrate. I mean, this doesn't just happen in the front lobes of the brain and it's all fair and good. I mean, this raises a lot of questions. And I forget that because I've been at this so long that for me it's common knowledge. But I have to remember that people that often come in with no knowledge of this. I mean, this is just, I mean, like the one lady came into Barbara King's church, and she was talking about, and she was just talking lightly about the 12 powers of man, and this woman was sitting there with all this stuff going through her head, and Barbara said, I want the church to pray for someone here who's having a hard time accepting this. So we all started praying, and I started praying in tongues, and she was sitting right behind me. I didn't know that, And the woman just broke down and cried, and she said, I have to stand up and testify. I thought y'all was all devils. And it was frightening to her, a totally new experience to think. And I mean, Barbara didn't even say, didn't even talk about John 10:31, 36, about Godhood. She was just talking about the 12